National Economy for the United States by Hunter and Jareth. Current GDP for 2012. Calculating GDP, you take the consumer, which is C, business I, government G, and foreign X, and you add them all together to get your GDP. GDP is measured by adding up all the purchases from consumer, business, and government and foreign. GDP definition: the currency value of all finished goods and services produced within a country. This is our graph. Current inflation of 2012. Inflation is a persistent, substantial rise in the general level of prices related to the increase in the volume of money and resulting in the loss of value of currency. We found that answer on dictionary.com. Our definition is pretty much saying the inflation is measured by the quantity of how much money we have in our country. And this is our graph. Current unemployment of 2012. There's 4 different kinds of unemployment: frictional unemployment, structural unemployment, seasonal unemployment, and cyclical unemployment. Frictional unemployment, people who change jobs frequently. Structural unemployment, unemployment due to structural change in the economy that eliminates some jobs and creates others. Seasonal unemployment, unemployment due to seasonal trends, such as construction workers. And cyclical unemployment is unemployment due to contractions in the economy. Unemployment definition: it's the people who are excluded in labor forces are children, armed forces, people who are institutionalized. And here's our graph. Aggregate demand. Definition: the total amount of goods and services demanded in the economy at a given overall price level and in a given time period. It is represented by the aggregate demand curve, which describes the relationship between price levels and quantity of output that firms are willing to provide. Normally, there is a negative relationship between aggregate demand and the price level, also known as total spending. Aggregate demand for all goods and services is an inverse relationship between the price level and the economy and the quantity of all goods and services. It pretty much is a change in price level will not change the aggregate demand curve. Aggregate supply: the total supply of goods and services produced within an economy at a given overall price in a given time in an overall price level in a given time period. It is represented by the aggregate supply curve, which describes the relationship between price levels and the quantity of output that firms are willing to provide. Normally, there is a positive relationship between aggregate supply and the price level. Rising prices are usually signals for business and expand production to meet a higher level of aggregate demand. It is a direct relationship between the price level and the economy and the aggregate quantity of goods and services supplied. And that is our presentation.